Hello, little ones. Would you like to hear a story? I've got one for you. From Rolling with Remix. Long ago, the land of Irion was a land of plenty, and many wanted to lay claim to its riches. When those who lived in Irion could no longer agree on who held what, civil war broke out across the entire realm, until the kobolds, in desperation to keep their kingdom afloat, summoned the dark and terrible Dragotha. The great dragon cared not for the alliances constantly made and broken across Irion, and razed many of its great cities to the ground, until a last desperate alliance finally slew the titanic worm. With no one in any shape to continue the fight, an armistice was reached, and the Great War ended. But tensions were still on the rise. 30 years later, a ragtag group of adventurers, who met at a harvest festival and joined forces to look for the missing mentor of one of their band, were hired by a mysterious old man to travel to the great city-states of Irion and perform acts of heroism that those in power would not approve of. But those same acts served to heighten tensions across the land, and the old man, secretly a scheming mind flayer, revealed that once more Irion had fallen into a great civil war. Now, with militaries and dark powers on the rise, our heroes gather their forces in hopes of saving what they can before Irion once more falls into ruin. Momo, the Aarakocra cleric.
You're my friend. You're my family. And I'll protect you at all costs.
Corellian, the kobold paladin.
I will not make the same mistakes again.
Malifan, the half-elf rogue.
I won't stand idle. Not while people's lives are at stake.
Oh, this should be fun.
Quintessa, the human fighter.
You shouldn't be surprised. Everyone is out for themselves in the end.
And Scam Likely, the goblin artificer.
There are three constants: death, taxes, and my ability to dodge both.
Unprepared though they might be, our heroes find themselves at the front lines of a great battle to save the fallen empires. Last time on Rolling with Remix, Fallen Empires. Our heroes made fast tracks out of the hospital and took the time to get drunk to help ease the pain of losing Azalea and Esgol. They made tentative plans for moving forward, to make a deal with the dwarves or the orcs to help with Battenrance's critically understaffed defenses, and along the way to go to Myrdeal, retrieve the dragon eggs for Snalgu, and hopefully make the situation with the kobolds better. During the night, a tabaxi delivery man delivered a package to Corellian, the vessel that was taken by Lady Fomar in the deal that gave Corellian a gnome disguise, thus ending the deal and the disguise with it. That morning, after getting drunk enough to feel well enough to travel, our heroes took the time to leave Baylight, where they met back up with Stranger on the ferry boat back to the mainland, talking about a raiding party that had attacked a Four Kings outpost, and the raid did not go in the Four Kings' favor. This, obviously, seemed like another Minotaur attack. Stranger also told them to watch themselves around Myrdeal. They were fortifying the city heavily, to prepare themselves for attacks by the Marrow and the Elves. During the night, Quintessa put Esgol's wedding ring back on, firing and firing and firing at a tree, trying to get the pain out, and finally decided she was ready for the war. The next day, they made a stop by the dwarven trading post of Varakens, mostly for its great library, where they learned more about dwarven history, and the history of the Underhill King, who now resided in Circus Call, with the once dwarven city of Demdor now being lost to the Oread. Malifane, however, seemed more and more out of it, not remembering about Esgol's ring despite the fact that he should know. Something was wrong, but he could not quite articulate why. As the heroes approached the orcish stronghold of Osdrud Kol, a blood moon rose in the night, which they thought was definitely not a problem, and they discussed a plan of action. Approaching the orc stronghold, Scam challenged the orcs to a test of strength, which they took to mean a test of all the orcs together's strength as they dogpiled Scam in the arena. A great brawl was had, which the orcs seemed to think was a fantastic time, inviting those that participated in the brawl to go for celebratory drinks. It was then that they met up with the orcish leader, a burly, jacked, and scarred woman named Kudoff Talanax. They attempted negotiations with her to see if a few orcs would be willing to act as guards. However, the orcs were completely uninterested in gold and did not follow those who did not have leadership tested by battle. However, the orcs did have a way that they said could help prove the hero's ability to lead, and so they called upon a friend, a heavily acid-scarred hobgoblin captain named Captain Tarth, the leader of the hobgoblin army at the Massacre of Mobbiz, where Maggie Lionforge battled against them before Dragotha's attack. What task did the orcs have in mind for the party? How will it involve the ancient hobgoblin veteran? And what the fuck is wrong with Malifane? Find out on tonight's episode of Rolling with Remix, Fallen Empires. Hello and welcome to Rolling with Remix, Fallen Empires, the show where everything is tense and no one is coming out of here okay. Everyone is doing not great. Please send help. I am your Dungeon Master, Alex, and with me as always is my lovely casting crew of players. We have Atlas.
They are imminent.
We have Scott.
Oh, right, shit. Sorry, the intro. Sorry about that. I think I'm like half dead at the moment or something. Fallen Empires. Knowing is half the battle, I think.
We have Jojo.
Look for the bear.
We have Queen.
Crush me.
And we have Xander.
Malifane's only mostly dead. One down, one more to go.
Ow! Ow!
Yikes! Wow!
Holy shit!
You know what? I'm just gonna come back in like 30 seconds. I'll be back.
Excellent. Alright, so, we are currently in the middle of Camp Streamix. This is where all the various people who stream on Internet Remix are competing to see who can get the most points. This is my team, Team Fallen. We stream Mondays, starting around 3 or so. Obviously with the pre-show, because it's closer to 3:30 right now. On Mondays. And the easiest way you can give us points is to give us bits. We need 2,000 bits to fill up that bar at the top of the screen, which draws from the deck of magic things, which is a thing that everyone loves happening.
Spare us all, please.
Everyone loves.
To the top,
everyone
please.
loves the deck of magic things. Everyone loves it. Everyone loves
No.
it. Everyone loves
No.
it. Everyone loves it.
Okay, please put the
No.
knife down. We love it. We love it. We love it. We love it. We love it.
See, I love it.
We love it.
Anyway, when last we left off, our heroes arrived at the orc fort of Ozdrud Kol to try and recruit a couple of orcs to basically staff the critically understaffed defenses of their home base, Baton Rance Hall. The orcs are super not into being paid with gold, but they did say there was a possible test the heroes could undergo to prove their ability to lead under pressure. And before they said what that is, they called forth this pretty tall, really beefy hobgoblin. Only beefy is in the parts of him that are still left. He's got a lot of like metallic prostheses, including notably one that's in his leg, replacing his right leg, and acid scars over half of his face, including one eye socket that's just like burned over. And from the description, those of you who talked to Maggie Lionforge about the Massacre of Mobbiz back in the War of Jagotha recognize this hobgoblin as Captain Tarth, who led the army that she was fighting. And apparently, according to her, died in the battle.
Oh,
I don't know anything about this.
Yeah, that was just
You
beyond
think I
you,
read
Skim.
books?
Alright. So, Captain Tarth, after being called by the orc leader, just scans the room, sees 5 people who are obviously not orcs, snorts, walks up, starts pacing back and forth in front of you. He stares first at Malifane, waves his hand in front of Malifene's face, snorts again. Half there.
Malifane doesn't even seem the least bit phased.
Yeah. He moves on from Malifane, takes a quick look at Quintessa. Reedy. Moves over to Momo, stares Momo down.
He doesn't really look phased, but he definitely does look intimidated.
Cowardly. Stares down Corellian. Just gazes up and down the armor, snorts again. Slow. And then moves over to Scam Likely. Where do I even begin with this one?
Hi, Scam Likely. Nice to meet you.
He just smacks your hand away.
High five. Gotcha.
And these are the ones I am expected to lead into battle.
Big shrug.
Yeah, big shrug. Toss sighs, goes to grab a tankard and pour himself a mug. Kudov Talanax, who is the leader of the orcs, clears her throat. So, yeah, as you can see, Captain there is not a real people person. But, you know, he's been hanging around, gives us a good fight every now and then. No one else would take him on, so...
I like him.
Great. There's one person.
I like him. He's hired.
Toth just immediately starts chugging a mug of ale, tosses it aside, gets another, and starts preparing another one.
How much does he cost?
Well, right now, Captain's kind of learned the importance of, not putting any stock in your shit fiat currency, she says, glaring at any coin purses that happen to be around. But, she turns, Captain, stop fucking drinking and get over here, join the conversation! Captain Toth snorts, just drags over a chair, slams it down, sits roughly where it lies.
What
Now,
can you do to earn your services?
It's not service. We would be working, he sighs, together.
Partnership. Okay, I hear.
Yes, collaboration.
Yeah, collaboration. I like that word.
Momo nods and that's a lot more comforting, not gonna lie. He's like, that's what he thinks.
Now, Captain, why don't you tell these fine ladies and gentlemen what exactly you told me about... What was it again? The Dark Elves? Captain Tarth nods. Contingency of Dark Elves have come from below the ground. They are setting up a base camp in the Zufan tar pits, northwest of Irion. What they are doing there I cannot say exactly, but I have seen some of what they do. Kidnapping children, slaughtering villages. If not kept in check, they would lead to raiding parties. And everyone else is too busy to do a damned thing about it.
Does this seem out of the ordinary?
Make a history check with advantage, because, you had a drow father, you've heard stories.
Yeah, alright.
Gotta love the drow.
So, drow are not inherently, asshole raiders and child kidnappers. A lot of them worship Lolth, who is a crazy bitch goddess who will do whatever the hell pleases her, and that's usually stuff that's really evil. But drow, on the whole, don't normally do these things. It is not unheard of for bands to engage in this. That being said, it's not the norm for drow.
Malifane's ears kind of perk up And for the first time in a few days, he actually seems kind of invested. This doesn't exactly seem like something that they might be up to. Is it possible someone put them up to this?
Captain Tarth nods. It was difficult to get any good reconnaissance. Drow are better at seeing in the dark than most people in Irion. But I noticed a few elves among them that did not share the darkness of the... I'm going to back up. That was going to lead somewhere bad. I noticed a few who were paler in color.
Paler in what sense?
They, their skin was ashen gray, the color of death itself.
Ah, hey, Quintessa, that's related to you.
Quintessa.
Malifane looks, Scam just blurts it out.
God damn it.
That's bad.
Captain Tarth nods. Right, so, well, we'd love to go over there and crush him ourselves. That could lead into something bad, since, as the captain said, Drow are a lot better at seeing the dark than we are. They'd be prepared for a larger force. So, a smaller guerrilla squad. I believe that's the term, yeah? Tarth's eyes rolls his one good eye.
Where are we going to find the gorillas?
Yeah, I mean, we could sail the Silk Raw and see if they have any gorillas to spare, but I don't think they'd be particularly stealthy is the problem here.
Oh my god.
Weaponized gorillas.
Guerrillas, not gorillas.
I know what he meant. I was just thinking of a lucrative business opportunity. Look, you are in very capable company for a small group of people to fuck shit up on a relatively large scale without making too much of a fuss about it. We kind of been doing it on the daily as of late.
Ah, perfect! Shouldn't have any problems then.
Captain, when you say contingency, how many would that be?
Last I counted, 50, perhaps 60, counting the non-Drow.
Right.
How many non-drow did you see?
Only saw a few out and about, handful at the most.
Thank you.
Majority are the Dark Elves.
Did you see if they were led by anyone in particular?
If they have a leader, they aren't coming out of the fort.
Seems fair.
I see.
They really set up camp, have they?
Indeed. They've already gotten to that advanced stage, and I'm not looking forward to whatever they plan next.
Agreed. Well, I don't know about you lot, but we already have a habit of sticking our noses in places where arguably we shouldn't, so might as well, right?
Well, I stop now.
Right, see? There's the idea, says Kudoff. You want to lead a whole bunch of orcs? Here's a little small-scale test. You take your band and a second band, see if you can find a way to beat vastly numerically advantaged Dark Elves, and then we'll talk about, making sure you don't die wherever the fuck you are.
Sure.
Okay.
Right, well, it's getting dark. You people look like you've been walking all day. Who wants some more rounds, eh?
He slowly
Yes.
raises his hand.
Please.
Before any hands or yeses even get raised, Kudoff just slams another fist through a tanker to fill up her mug and just starts chugging down orc lager.
What a queen.
Right?
Alright. Unless anyone else has anything they want to do in Ozdrud Call, I'm just gonna assume you wait for nightfall.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess so.
Cool. In that case, Night comes. There are precisely 0 beds in Osdrud Call.
I mean, we've been roughing it so far, so
Yeah. You adapt relatively quickly. The rest of the orcs around here just kind of like go to sleep where they lie, regardless of like whether or not that's in the middle of a major pathway. They just give 0 fucks.
True that.
I respect that.
Right. And during the night, Momo, you have a strange dream. You're back in a dark forest, kind of like the one you found yourself in when you got teleported by Lady Fomar a couple 10 days back.
Oh no.
But unlike Lady Fomar's forest, it's not like quite as misty, so you're reasonably sure you can find your way through, and that's what you find yourself trying to do. Just like push your way through the branches and the bushes and the forest, just trying to find a way out. And as you do, you feel something watching you from afar. You turn around to try and see what it is, but like you can only catch vague glimpses of movement at the periphery of your vision, and never a full like grasp on what it is. Right up until you get to a clearing where finally you can see more than like 10 feet in front of your face, and at the far end of the clearing is this huge black bear. Like, it's just kind of standing there, staring in your direction, not making any sounds, not making any movements, just staring you down.
I'm gonna try and get closer to it.
Alright. You continue to approach the bear. As you do so, you notice more details on it that your furthest glimpses couldn't get before. It's got all sorts of wounds on it, like burn scars, gash marks where like flesh has been torn straight off of it. There's some exposed meat and bone on the bear that you thought for sure was just fine at before you got your close look. Perhaps most attention-catching of all is the bear's face. This is not the face of a normal black bear. This is the face of an old elf, just like staring blankly at you, right through you, like almost into the very core of your being. You recognize this face well, Momo. This is the face of Arias.
Is it trying to say anything to me?
No,
or, like, is
it's
it just
quiet.
staring at me?
It's quiet, it's just staring you down.
I don't really do anything. He's just kind of shocked and not paralyzed with fear, just not really feeling anything. He's gonna walk away from it, or try to at least.
Alright. You walk out of the clearing, back into the underbrush of the forest, away from the bear. You continue moving along, and you think you can see it at the corner of your vision, no matter how far away you go. Never moving, but like always getting closer. And as you keep moving further and further away, and the bear just doesn't get any further away, eventually you just find the mists of the forest come back, you find yourself lost once again, and you wake up.
His eyes just shoot open, but he doesn't jump or shout or anything. He's just... Oh, man. Okay. Is it still dark or is it morning?
It is still dark.
And everyone's asleep?
Everyone is still asleep, yes.
he's just gonna pull his knees to his chest and sit there. He's not gonna try and go back to sleep. If he falls asleep, he does, but he's not gonna force himself, because that... No thanks.
Alrighty. Meanwhile, Corellian, your sleep is also troubled. You don't have dreams, per se, but you do have this nagging, splitting headache as you try to get to sleep. I remember you had the Ring of Mind Shielding. I don't remember if you reattuned to it.
I did not. I think I gave it to Momo, actually.
Okay. In that case, could you roll an intelligence save for me?
Oh no.
Okay. I just need to double check the DC on something real quick.
That bodes well.
It bodes very well. Pay no attention to the DM behind the curtain.
Good roll, though.
Yeah, that's a solid intelligence check, all things considered.
Mm-hmm.
The spell save DC is... that. The headache subsides, and you fall into a deep, peaceful sleep.
Great. Awesome.
Alright. You all wake up the next morning.
What up?
Oh, the rest of you guys, apparently.
I see you got jokes today.
Aha! We have jokes! We got some japes!
You got some japes and jokes, some little jabs.
Momo is
Chicanery.
kind of just...
I don't need to roll anything because that was out of character.
He's still, clutching his knees, and he's just... like, his head is nodding. Just... He rubs his eyes. And he's... wakes himself up.
Didn't sleep well.
Not entirely, no. Maybe.
Just the, Colleen sort of gestures to the ground. That, or,
Yes, it was... yeah.
Colleen, like, sort of raises an eyebrow. Alright.
So what's for breakfast? I'm starving. Breakfast? What's for breakfast? I'm starving.
Breakfast.
What's for breakfast?
I think this is one of those. I think this is one of those you need to provide for yourself kind of community. So, Momo, I hope you're ready to go bear hunting.
You shouldn't have said that.
My stomach actually dropped.
You really shouldn't have said that. And I don't know if that was intentional or not.
It was completely intentional.
Oh, okay then.
Momo just casts create food and water.
Oh, that, wow, that's a lot.
Oh boy.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Help yourself.
And you consume the unflavored food and water. I mean, it's probably around the same quality as what the orcs have.
Scam is casting Prestidigitate on his own food, at least.
Yeah, Momo's also doing the same.
What do the orcs have out of curiosity?
The orcs are out hunting.
Ah, right, okay.
They also have hardtack.
That's basically what we're eating right now.
Yep.
So I'm just making mine taste like a roast beef.
I'm gonna make mine taste like buttered toast with some jam and cream cheese.
I'm making mine taste like food.
Alright.
I can make mine taste like anything.
Well, great news, it already doesn't.
Alright. As you all plop down, eating your breakfast, just trying to make it taste like literally what it is not, Some orcs come back, dragging a couple of, like, cougar and bear carcasses with them. Couple look at the piles of food and water you have, snort, and just move around. A couple cast odd glances to Corellian as they go.
Colleen sort of like looks down at themselves, sort of like quizzically, like, eh?
You look the
So
same as ever.
I look normal. Oh, okay. Sure. So just the usual then. Alright. Makes sense.
No.
Do I see anything that the orcs see that they're being quizzical about?
Make an insight check.
Ooh, okay.
I'll roll to that as well, actually.
Yeah, advantage. Yay. Insight?
Yes. Okay. From your encounters with the orcs from last night, you get the feeling they don't particularly care if you're a kobold, if you're a goblin, if you're a human, if you're a half-elf, if you're an Aarakocra. They have better things to worry about than that. You'd guess it would take something pretty weird to make an orc double-take and side-eye you.
Mm-hmm. That's odd.
Malifane
What
kind
is?
of raises an eyebrow.
I don't know why they're looking at you like that.
Did something happen?
No, I just was asleep last night. I mean, I had a bit of a headache, but, that just sort of comes with I guess, comes with the territory. Actually, I can think of one thing. It may be a bit of a stretch, but, well, Maggie mentioned, the captain of the guard back at Batonrance. Carlin sort of elaborates for Scam and Quintessa. She mentioned a Captain Tarth that she fought against a while ago, during the whole Dragotha thing. Well, Carlin sort of like knocks on his breastplate after he like puts it on, and then sort of lowers his voice a little. This is made of cast-off dragon scales. That's the only thing I could think of that would, well. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
I mean, who knows if that's actually it? Maybe Krellin shrugs. I don't fucking know.
The alternative is that... Well, actually...
Alternative? No. What's the alternative? Yeah.
Well, you didn't happen to have any...
Any...
You know how sometimes whenever we have strange visions or whatever in our dreams, they tend to kind of just happen, like with the whole thing with Rankle? You didn't happen to see anything last night, did you?
No strange visions, no dreams. I just had a bit of a headache, but managed to ease off. That's it. So
Yeah, I mean, I had this dream where I was like drowning in butter, and then like a great beast made out of sorry, I won't regale you with all the details, but yeah, I mean nothing like weird or pretentious. It was just I think I drank a little too much.
yeah, it could be it. It's probably why. Well, who knows? Probably had a rock stuck in my back or something.
That'll do it.
Yeah, Carlin sort of like stretches a little bit. Well, is everyone ready or?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm ready to go. Yeah,
Ready as I can be, I suppose.
Right. Let's.
I'm looking forward to the comforts of civilization again.
Said anything about that?
Uh,
Since when are we going back to the comforts of civilization anytime soon?
I just want a bath, okay?
once we sack the fort, you can get yourself a bath. How's
Yeah,
that?
fine.
That's motivation, right?
Fine. I meant that let's get on our way so we can finish this task at the fort, and then we'll go back to civilization, hopefully, if we don't die.
Yeah. Well, let's
Okay. You head out of the borders of Osdred Cole. Captain Tarth is there waiting for you, polishing a... let me actually double-check what weapon he has. Polishing a big, old, serrated scimitar. He looks up at you as you approach, snorted. It takes you that long to eat breakfast.
just had some business to go over with one another.
Yeah.
This is going to be a long trip, he says, immediately heading out without waiting to see if you're going to be with him.
We should follow.
Follow him immediately.
Yeah, well, yeah, no shit.
Cool. Alright. You proceed to march. Like, Tarth isn't stopping for lunch or any other meal of the day. He's just gonna keep on marching through the Badlands for quite some time. Until you get right up to where there starts to be a little bit more moisture around, like, closer to actual civilization and not, pure orc territory. Before he finally just, raises a fist in the air to make you all stop. We camp here.
Okay.
Yeah, seems a good place as any.
Right?
Works for me.
And you start making camp.
I'll make the fire start. I'll get the fire started.
Sounds good.
Alright.
How do you all want to divvy up watches?
I'll take any number of them. I'm fine either way. I mean,
I will also take any number of watches. I
it's
guess
not it's not wise for Scam to take a watch, but
I'll take I'll take third watch.
I'll take first then.
Jabidi will take one.
Cool.
Jabidi has
Jabidi?
Yeah, just Jabidi, because Jabidi has a better perception than Scam does.
Wow.
Amazing.
Jabidi can wake me up if something goes wrong.
Cool. Alright. So, can I get a first watch then?
You got it.
Nice.
Cool. You see a couple of tumbleweeds rolling across the desert. That's about the most interesting thing that happens on your watch.
Malaphane's just going to look at his journal and write down everything that's happened. Still wondering what the fuck this other scribbling is in his journal.
Yeah, it's weird. That's not your handwriting.
No, it's not.
Anyway,
Whatever.
can we get a second watch?
Jabidi serving it up hot.
1.
Dirty 20.
Dirty
Nice.
20.
That is hot.
Alright. Pretty good. Cool. And that's what I roll. So. Shit, where is that thing on the table?
I ate it, I'm sorry.
How dare you? Anyway, normally sleeping out in the desert, it's pretty cold. But for whatever reason during this particular watch, it's, unseasonably hot. Jabidi probably feels fine because Jabidi is a homunculus, but, it's not a comfy sleep.
Jabidi's having a good time.
Jabidi's doing great.
He's just vibing.
During Javidi's watch, though, Scam, you feel a light kick against your side.
My ribs. I open one eye.
Alright. Captain Tarth is standing over you, just staring you down.
Captain Tarth, to what do I owe the pleasure?
The kobold that travels with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tarth tilts his head. Is he safe?
How do you mean? Would you like to be more specific?
Tarth sighs. During the night, the kobold's resting was most fitful. Until it abruptly stopped. Their eyes snapped open. They stood up and walked to a mirror, chanting in the name.
Wait, what?
They walked to a mirror, chanting this name. Oh God, what was it? Ichthylos, I believe, 3 times, before walking right back where they were and going to sleep.
Corellian did that.
I see no other kobolds around here.
Okay, I've never noticed that before, but to be fair, it's been, I'll tell you this, Captain Tarth, that kobold is haunted more than most. So, we'll keep some eyes peeled, but, I think it's not at all far from the possibility that, they're just a little fitful at night, haunted by past memories, you know. So I've never known Corellian to do anything detrimental to the overall party. So just take my word for that.
Tarth blinks, snorts again. Let us hope this is not the first time.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll look into some things for you tomorrow just to abate your concerns. But yeah, no. In my book, kind of looks back over at the rest of the party. In my book, honestly speaking, Captain Tarth Corellian's the best one out of all of them. So if anybody else, worry about them the least.
I shall keep your word in mind, says Tarth, and he just turns and walks away.
Ichthylos. Scam kind of like settles back down into like sleep, but like stares up at the sky for a while and is a little restless, but eventually falls back asleep.
All right. Can I get third watch?
Yeah.
Okay.
20.
Dirty 20. Momo, those are some very interesting tumbleweeds over there. Yeah, other than that, though, it's a pretty quiet watch. And
He starts nodding into sleep again, and he just rubs his eyes again.
And eventually, morning comes.
Alright. Gotta keep moving. How far to the fortress?
Should be 2 days' travel. We'll be meeting with my scout forces on the land bridge.
Alright, everybody. Get ready for another riveting day of hiking. Who's with me? 99 bottles of ale on the wall. And then Scam starts marching forward.
We should let him get a head start so we don't have to listen to him so much.
Scam will magically project his voice so they can always hear him.
You bastard.
Okay.
Flavor text. How does Jabidi typically communicate with others that aren't Scam?
Knives.
Wait.
Nice.
Malifane will look to the
short answer is Jabidi does not communicate with other people other than Scam, but you can talk to him, certainly.
How long will he go through with this?
Jabidi holds up 3 knives.
Oh no.
It's gonna be one of those days, isn't it?
Oh no.
At some point in the hiking, though, all of Scam's bullshit aside, in the daily hike, Scam will like sidle up next to like Corellian during the walk at one point, just in like super cash, you know, just kind of like fall
Saying
back
the
or
word
before a little bit.
cash makes it so uncasual.
Just like kind of like just real cash, and just
Launch.
go. How'd you sleep?
Fine. Carlene sort of like looks down from their perch on Mosca. I mean, it was actually kind of nice. I feel like it was warmer than usual. Usually deserts suck, but it wasn't too bad. Why do you ask?
I didn't get much sleep. I personally, I was just checking in. It's definitely the most desolate of terrain we've camped at so far.
Carlin sort of nods, and then just to be polite, he'll hop off Mosca and sort of walk alongside her instead, so you can talk more on the same level as Scam.
How do you feel about this Tarth fella?
I don't have any issues with him. He's professional. He seems like he's a fellow who knows what he's doing. My only concern is that, well, I worry that Maggie back home will not be too keen on the idea if he's, well, assuming this all works out, that he'll end up being at Badenrans.
Captain Tarth is a hobgoblin, right?
Captain Tarth is a hobgoblin.
Yeah, okay, well, Goblin says, understandably so from what I've heard thus far, but look, I mean, if there's a goblin at Badenrans, I'm sure a hobgoblin edition can be persuaded, but I understand that from what I've loosely heard, she has a bit more experience, be it with this specific fella.
Yeah, he apparently led the army that she fought against, and she told me he was dead, so...
Well, we live in strange times. We, I mean, like, in times like this, you know, sometimes you get situations where old rivals thought dead rear their heads again, and alliances are formed where once there were enemies. Crazy shit like that.
Yeah.
Maybe we can... I'd say we give her some advanced warning and just let her know what the deal is. Again, times being what they are.
Yeah, it's probably the best idea.
Yeah. I also woke up in the middle of the night, though. Yeah, do you sleepwalk?
Not that I'm aware of. Not that anyone's told me.
I just saw you up and about in the night. Thought, yeah.
I don't recall getting up. I slept just fine.
Yeah, to be fair, I've definitely, like, fallen asleep and then, like, apparently, like, woke up in the bathroom, like, how did I get here? You know, like, I've fallen asleep in one place, woken up in another. I mean, it's possible maybe you just kind of drifted for a minute.
Krillin, like, tilts his head over at Mosca and just... Mosca, do I sleepwalk?
Okay, I think Mosca would have seen, so Mosca says, I mean, not usually, but I mean, there was, back at the orc place. You seemed pretty focused on something I didn't understand.
Huh.
Yeah. I heard you, talking. It sounded like nonsense, so that's why I assumed you were sleepwalking. That's why I also asked how you slept, because just making sure that you were doing all right. I mean, like, yeah, you were just like, you got up and you just kept saying, like, Ichthylos. I think that's what you said. Yeah, nonsense. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Carlin sort of has, like, a very confused look on
like, it just sounded like slurred, sleepy nonsense. Like, you were just, like, staring at something, just going, Ichthylos. You know, it sounded just like you were just saying nonsense words. Like, I talk in my sleep sometimes. So, I mean, I definitely, like, once said baguette for, like, 15 minutes of my sleep at one point.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, you were there for that.
Unfortunately. No, that's, no, Mosca said that I don't usually do it either. I mean, I figured I'd check with her, but no. She said something about me talking too. That's maybe just a dream I can't remember. You don't remember all your dreams.
No, yeah. There are some dreams I wish I could not remember.
Tell me about it. What do you think of What do you think of Captain Tarth?
He's a hobgoblin, so I mean, there's that. It's been a little while since I've crossed paths with one of my kin, even if a hobgoblin being a distant cousin.
So
But
is that a good thing or a bad thing?
it's
Crowley is
more
sort
of,
of like,
it's more of a I don't know what to think of that specific aspect thing, but it's certainly nice to have somebody around here who's a native speaker of my tongue.
true.
You know, hobgoblin faults aside, I never really was raised in that environment, but you know,
Would it be too callous to say you weren't really raised much at all?
I was very self-raised.
Well, Crowley sort of shoots a look. You did all right, all things considered. Seems
All
like.
things considered, I'm not completely fucked up. Mostly fucked up, but not completely. Somehow
Yeah,
I'm still
well-
alive.
Well,
Somehow.
normal people don't become adventurers, so.
I met somebody who was an adventurer, like many
Yeah.
years ago. No, like many years ago. Like long before I got kicked out of Port Mirandu, back when I was still with the Thinkers Guild and I was still seeing, Paulette. Met this guy. Can't remember his name, but he just struck me as the most average person I've ever met. Like, this was the most average, ordinary Joe human I've ever met. Didn't look particularly well off, didn't look particularly, poor, just looked like the most average person.
Those are the scary ones, though.
They're terrifying. And I think I struck a brief conversation with him. And he said to me, I remember these words. He said, "Oh yeah, I've been doing this for a while." And I said, "Oh yeah, what is it you do?" It's like, "Oh, I adventure." And I'm like, "You're fucking with me." I'm like, "What happened in, not verbatim here, but like, what happened to your parents?" "Oh, they're over, they're still all right. They're doing pretty good for themselves, self-sufficient." I'm like, "Okay, any siblings?" "Only child." "Really? You have a wife?" "Yeah, I love her. She's still alive." I'm like, "Really? So is there anything wrong in your life?" And he said, "No." And I asked him, "Why are you an adventurer?"
What do you say?
I don't know. I don't remember what he said. He was so average, I zoned out.
Yeah. Nobody is that average without working very, very hard at being that average.
I don't know, Corellian.
Probably for the best you don't remember.
There was something about this guy. I don't know. He seemed legit. I don't know. I'm scared thinking
are
about
average people your sleep paralysis demons? Is that what it is?
Have you been reading my dream journal?
You have a dream journal?
Oh fuck. Jabidi, give me the dream journal. Jabidi pulls out from inside of him, cast produce flame on it and burn it and says not anymore.
Oh, okay. Yeah, move on. That sort of. Well, thanks for telling me about the sleepwalking thing. That's odd. I guess I'll ask Mosca to keep an eye on it if it gets worse.
Yeah, okay. Mosca can talk.
Well, Krillin taps their head telepathically. She can understand common, right?
Holy shit! Hey, Mosca.
Mosca just stares, does a little smiley face.
Oh, baby.
Scam clutches his chest and doubles over. I look over and Scam looks over at Jimmy and goes, "Why can't you talk?"
Jimmy holds up a knife.
But he can't talk. I thought you had some sort of telepathic thing going on.
I can tell him what I tell him what to do. He can't respond to me. He obeys my commands. He can't speak. He has no voice. I have no idea what he would sound like. He speaks in knife, which is the closest I've gotten.
Jimmy holds up a second knife.
I don't know where he's getting those, Corellian. I don't know where he's getting those. I'm not installing them.
Mom was gonna
He spent enough time around bags of holding, I'm sure. Things or knives. Right. Well, yeah. Thanks for letting me know. I'll,
of course.
Stretch my legs. I'll keep walking for a while.
Momo's gonna approach.
Yeah. He's just lonely and he wants to talk to somebody. He doesn't like walking by himself.
Momo, welcome to the conversation. Pick a number between 5 and 72.
72?
72.
72.
72, okay.
72.
Well, I picked 72.
You're the most boring. God damn it. Okay, never mind.
41.
41! Cool. Good number.
We'll have to keep that one in mind. There's
So,
a long pause.
There's a long pause.
So, how did you guys sleep last night?
I mean, as well as I can on sand.
It was warm. It was really nice.
Is this a general question, or is this directed to those two specifically? I'm sorry.
It was just to them.
Okay. It was all things considered not bad.
Why? Something happened during watch, or?
No. I was just asking because I also didn't sleep
Tumbleweeds
that
give
well.
you dirty looks or something?
You could say that. All I saw was tumbleweeds.
They're always watching.
Lucky they didn't bury you alive.
Correct.
Oh, I've heard
they're
tales
the
of
most
how
evil.
tumbleweeds can literally take down towns. It's terrifying.
Nothing a little fire spell can't fix, right, Momo?
They're just dry brambles. They'll go up like... They'll just go up.
They'll take the
Gone.
towns with them.
Yeah. But no, you know that, like, they're all sentient, right? Like, you didn't talk to one, did you? You didn't try to, like, look at one for too long?
He, like, kind of tries to hide a smile. No.
Yeah, they're the most evil. Don't look at them too long. They're always watching you.
I've been mentoring under one for a long moon.
I can't win with you. Fuck you, Momo.
Well, glad it was uneventful otherwise. How are you feeling about this whole expedition?
Well, I'm not sure what's in store because I never know what to really look forward to anymore.
Oh.
So I'm just gonna hope for the best and do what I can to make it as useful as possible.
Hear,
You know.
hear.
So that captain,
Yeah.
Yeah, what about him?
nothing. He's very stern.
Yeah, he's a hobgoblin.
He's a captain.
Put those two together and you get a really stern fella.
Fair enough.
He's got to be smart to lead an army.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now he's leading, leading, air quotes, us.
We're following.
True. Very true. So these are Drow we're dealing with. Any of you ever dealt with Dark Elves before?
Have I ever? I don't think so.
No.
I don't believe so.
Neither have I.
No.
I know very little about them. Except that one apparently sired Malifane.
Well, yeah. I mean, from what Malifane's spoken about his father, he seems like a pretty normal fella, so not much beyond
Wild
that.
theory. Wild theory.
Gods.
What if the Drow that is Malifane's dad, the one that's apparently a normal fella, was the average human I met in disguise?
If Corellian could roll their eyes any harder, they'd give themselves a migraine. What if, scam? Just a theory. What if just gives this like scathing look? Fuck off.
Yeah, it's possible. You can't deny that it's possible.
No.
We live in a world of magic and dragons, Corellian. It's possible.
Hopefully not dragons. That's what we're trying to prevent.
Right.
Hopefully not dragons.
That's why
Good name
Spike
for a band. Yeah, fair.
Well, collaborative. It was a collaborative thing.
Fair enough. Oh boy. All right. Well, hopefully. Oh yeah. There's also maybe some Shadowkai there, so this is gonna get real interesting. Real.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
You guys want to make some? You guys want to, play some bets? Gotta get some money flowing between our hands. Make this a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, what do you have in mind?
Yeah, what do you have?
Well, we know.
I'm thinking.
All right, let me get my. Let me lean in real close here. All right, so
Carla leans
God.
back. That's good enough.
I'm sorry I didn't brush my teeth this morning. Look. So, here's my idea, okay? If there's going to be Shadowkai there, this is going to affect Quintessa, right? And there's going to be Drow there, so that's going to be affecting Malifane. Now, I don't mean to be an asshole when I say this, but place your bets on which of the two is likely to start crying first. Come on, grease your palms. Have a good time. Make a gamble.
Carleen snorts and then looks up. Hey, Quintessa, we're making bets about the Shadowkai. You want in?
Yeah, you want to join?
What's the bet about?
Who's
You
gonna
tell
cry
them I
first?
feel bad. Which fuck, Momo came out of the gate. You said it. God damn it. Okay. Yeah.
You do realize that Raildrim isn't connected to each and every Shadowkai. It might not be him.
Wouldn't it be something if he was?
But we're traveling at the speed of plot here. Come on.
All right. Well, only very...
I heard the metagaming.
Oh shit! You found me.
It just breaks into a Tom Cruise sprint after Scale Likely.
Start running.
Wings is activate!
Malifane pushes on Momo's back and just convinces everyone to just, don't ask questions, just start running.
It's only after scat. Whatever. Fuck it.
Well, on the horrifically slim off chance it is something to do with Raildrim, no doubt I'd be crying. I'd just be very pissed.
What is this about crying?
Don't worry about it.
Raise his eyebrow.
Well, enjoy your bets.
Have fun. We will. So no takers.
I bet Malifane will cry first.
10 gold. You're on.
I can still hear you.
No, you can't. We're whispering.
All right, I'll keep track, I guess. It's only fair.
This feels oddly cruel, but
No more cruel than other things we've done in the past, so...
right.
I think the little cruelties are what's keeping us sane.
Sane enough.
All right. As you make your bets, meanwhile, let's head over to Quintessa and Malifane.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let's do that. I'm scared. All right.
There are times where I wish I knew. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, Quintessa will sidle over to Malifane.
There are times I wish I knew what was going on. God damn it.
Sorry!
Oh
You can talk first. Go ahead.
No, go on.
No, it's fine.
No, well, you start already, so go on.
You can't see it, but we're on camera and I'm rolling my eyes right now.
I can see it.
No, I know you can.
The audience,
I'm
however.
totally. This is all happening in world. I'm totally calling it. Like it's these two trying to have a conversation, and Scam just vomits in the distance.
You know, as if they weren't already too awkward enough.
No, you go first. No, you go first.
I can talk.
No, you hang up.
No, you
Okay.
hang up.
Come on, bud.
There are times where I honestly wish I knew what was going on in their heads.
Well, it's the best thing about being an author. Just every mind is a mystery. Gotta kind of just build your own. Speaking of, though, can we talk about Viole?
Sure. What did you want to talk about?
Well, here's the thing: is that I know a lot about Azalea from what you and others have told me. But Viole was very secretive.
I mean, that's kind of how he was often. I mean, he kind of was lost in his own thoughts most of the time. Sometimes I kind of wonder how. God, isn't this just. This feels like the same conversation we were having. Because honestly, it feels to me like sometimes I really wonder what's going on in his mind, because he didn't really share that much with me that, he was really working on in his studies. I wish he did.
Well, I mean, I don't mean to pry if it's all private family stuff. I know I'm not really part of the family, but I was just with being a drow and everything, I just was curious.
What do you mean?
Well, to put it bluntly, Malafane, I wasn't going to say anything, but not very common to see a drow like your father, you know?
I mean, it is a bit of an enigma. Most drow are, how do I put it? Not exactly the most friendly or kind-hearted. I honestly don't really know too much about what exactly came over him, but if I had to guess, maybe he saw something that the others didn't and just decided he was done with it. Everyone has. Path to redemption is capable for almost everyone, isn't it?
She dropped out a call.
Oh, fuck! Oh no!
She is.
I can't believe Quintessa Carena is fucking dead.
I can.
Shut the fuck up, Scamuel. Are we back?
Hello?
No, apparently not.
Mrs. Obama?
Why are we still here? Just to suffer? I mean,
Yes.
every morning I can feel my arm, my leg, even my fingers.
So Discord disconnected for a minute. I'm so
Oh, that's okay.
I'm so sorry.
I was just doing the "Why are we still here" monologue while you were coming back.
Alright, sorry, try again.
I
can't remember what we got.
What was the last thing that you heard?
He... What did you say? You said... Oh yeah, he couldn't stand it or whatever, so he had to leave, and then it went.
Maybe he saw something that the others didn't, and he decided he had enough of it. The path to redemption is capable for almost anyone.
Well, was his departure smooth?
I'm not sure. I mean, every once in a while, now that I think about it, I do know that he does sort of flinch a little bit whenever he gets near any kind of body of water, or did, rather. It's possible he developed some sort of aquaphobia, but I don't know from what.
I mean... I don't really see any avenues of swimming in the Underdark.
Are there pools or rivers or whatever in the Underdark?
A lot.
Oh. Well, I will backtrack then!
Honey, let me tell you about the Dark Lake.
Look, I haven't played a drow. I don't know this shit. Well, right. She will instead say, well, if he has a fear of water, that's not good. Actually, out of character, did you tell Quintessa about what happened to him?
I think I did, but I don't remember.
I'm gonna say you did, considering that would be a big deal.
Yeah.
So, he must really love Azalea then.
More than anything.
I mean, the fact that he faced that fear to go out and find a way to help her, that's is he okay? Do you think he's... Never mind.
Let's keep walking.
Walking? We camped down.
Did we camp? I thought we were still walking.
I thought we did.
No, you're still walking.
Okay.
I just haven't moved because midday is the random encounter.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll start kind of absentmindedly fiddling with Eskel's ring, like just fidgeting with it.
All right.
Malifane is... You know what? He's just going to keep looking at that ring, and that's about it.
Okay.
Cool. As you approach the great land bridge that connects the northern and southern halves of Irion, you see a little fortification has been set up, like a couple of palisades arranged into a small makeshift fort. And as you approach, stepping out from a door installed in the middle of them is a gray-skinned tiefling with ram horns holding out a hand to stop.
Oh, I stopped.
Something the matter?
Yeah, you see, this here's a newly installed toll booth. Yeah, we had to set it up to raise funds, to help for all the people war's disaffecting, make sure that Blind Vault doesn't, blow out the economy housing them, you know how it is.
Right. Are you with a specific organization?
Oh, no, I'm just, I'm just with the city these days.
Which city?
Blind Vault, if you headed, immediately southwest, you'd be able to get there before nightfall. It's right down here.
Alex, if we give him coin, is he going to ask for more coin?
He is not a troll.
Okay, good.
Not often that you get such good Samaritans out here. Is there any sort of infrastructure around that implies a toll booth, or is it just this tiefling standing here?
There is the tiefling. You can see a little bit of movement behind the palisades that implies there's more than just him, but this looks like a very temporarily, hastily constructed thing.
All right. What would the toll be then?
It's not much. It should be like a 2 gold would get you passage across for the next month or so. That'll get you the pass.
Fair.
Sounds so bad.
Yeah, sounds good. Honestly, you get many people passing through here.
More than you'd think, actually. A whole lot of Oriad, a whole lot of kobolds. Sometimes, going through the naval way isn't working out so well, between the marrow and the... So, yeah. I mean, I'm just doing what I can.
Yeah, of course. By any chance, you see a bunch of elves come through? Not the usual sort?
Define not the usual sort.
Shorter,
particularly
dark-skinned.
Yeah, or gray-skinned ones that don't exactly, look like the type of elves you find in Ashran Alora. Kind of odd vibes about them.
Well, silver lining, you've just let me know we really need to improve watches around here.
Well, yeah, silver lining indeed. And silver lining, and Krellin will, give him an extra silver along with the 2 gold.
Yeah, I'll
obliged.
give him.
Yeah.
Thanks
I'll
for the
also do
info.
same.
Yeah.
Tarth just grunts, tosses gold vaguely in that direction, and moves right past. All right. Much obliged. Safe travels, the tiefling says, giving a salute, pulling out the tablet, snapping his fingers as, this smoky burn appears on the surface of the tablet facing the tiefling, and he goes back behind the palisades.
All right.
All right. You head onto the Great Land Bridge, and as evening starts to come, you're over by, one of the exit ramps that leads to a relatively safe area where people who travel along the bridge make camp. Tarth immediately heads down, and I'm assuming you all follow him.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Cool. Roll 20 is acting hilariously slow for me, so it's going to take a while for me to actually pull up the descriptions of these other hobgoblins, but surprise, there are other hobgoblins there who have already set up a little campfire, and immediately stand up straight and rigid as soon as they see Tarth approaching. There is one of them who has a half-shaved head with the other half in a mohawk, who briefly darts an eye in your direction, saying, "You're not hobgoblins." But otherwise, they do not move whatsoever.
Damn.
Okay.
I'm just going to move it over here real quick so I'll have more room to draw, because I might need to draw some stuff.
Sure.
Captain Tarth says, "At ease," and immediately the hobgoblins return to a more relaxed position. "Introduce yourselves, now." The Mohawk hobgoblin clears her throat, does the briefest of waves, and then puts her hand down. Shoot, the names are overlapping. 1 second. She says, "Hello there, newcomers. My name is Zagnarug. Pleasure to see you." The other hobgoblins give her weird looks, but then just kind of roll their eyes and move along. There is a skinny hobgoblin among all of them, twin daggers at sheath in his belt, who sniffs the air, stares down the party. What the hell, you look clean. Now, Zog, I'd say it's a pleasure to see you, but all things considered, you won't be seeing me anytime soon." And then the third of the hobgoblins is a pretty beefy-looking one, not anywhere near as beefy as Captain Tarth. He is wearing, some chainmail with the shield, but most notably, he is dripping wet. He just waves and says, "Hello, name's Lock Knock."
I like him.
Hi.
Hi.
Tarth immediately turns to the rest of you.
Krellin, looks at...
Oh, okay. I thought you were
on.
I said introduce yourselves.
Malafine Lythos.
Quintessa, hi.
Momo Vol. Ouch. Stubs his toe on a flat rock.
I can't believe.
Scam says in Goblin, I'm Scam likely.
The other hobgoblins, all except for Tarth, just nod in appreciation as you say something in Goblin. Tarth is just stony-faced, turns to look at them, immediately they stop.
Oh, I'll let them enjoy themselves.
This is what is left of Tarth's legion.
Oh.
Not a lot, okay.
Tarth immediately sits down by the fire, and then Zagnarug reaches into a sack, pulls out a roasted hunk of meat, hands it over to him. Tarth starts chowing down, looks at the rest of you. Bud, you can create food. Make your own dinner.
Yes, sir. And he's gonna cast Create Food and Water again.
Hey.
Hey!
There we go.
Boom! More food and water appears, and once again, crappy trail rations is your dinner.
Yay!
Prestidigitation, baby!
Prestidigitation.
Oh, I've had worse.
As long as it doesn't taste bad, I'm not complaining.
Right.
Alright. During the middle of the meal, Malzog looks over at you. So I'm assuming you're our reinforcements?
Yeah.
Yes.
You can say that.
In that case, we might have a chance. Not a good chance, but a chance.
I like those odds.
I do too. It's
No
better
chance
than
is better than nothing.
Yeah.
Zagnarok speaks up. We've been doing some reconnaissance around the Dark Elven Fort. They're apparently attempting to spread out the borders, make it bigger. One can only assume to let in more Drow from the Underdark.
Is there a figure leading them?
Evidently, we've seen a few people one could classify as sergeants, and then a few people one could classify as captains leading them. Not all of them, not all of the captains, that is, are dark elves, so to speak. They are the pale ones. You told them about the pale ones, did you not, Captain? Tarth just nods.
Did.
Good to know. Great.
Locknot clears his throat. So, the bad news is they are expanding, and if we don't act soon, they're probably going to be a lot more than we can take. Good news is, before they can expand, they have to go out of the fort into more temporary camps.
Good news.
Right, that makes sense.
Theoretically, there we could do quicker strikes and then retreat back before they send any more reinforcements.
So, you said they're coming up from the Underdark, of course. You didn't happen to have eyes or any ideas as to where that main entrance could be?
Good question.
One would assume somewhere close to the main fort. We haven't actually gotten past the outer walls.
Okay. Right, so... No, definitely the, what you said, for sure. I think that's our best bet. But also, secondarily, if we manage to find the entrance to the Underdark and either collapse it or make it somehow inaccessible, that would be helpful as well.
I think I have some spells that can help out with that.
Yeah, Zagnara gets this little glint in her eye. Oh, you mean like blowing things up?
Yeah.
I'm good at blowing things up!
Yay!
That kind of character, okay.
Tarth sighs. Much as you are good at blowing things up, too many of those attacks and they'll instantly know what we're doing and, obviously, send the majority of their force to crush us.
We'll figure something out, don't worry.
Malzog immediately gets out some chalk, starts writing in the ground. Regarding the last time I went on reconnaissance, I saw 3 places where they were making temporary camp. Let me just imagine this is the vague area of where they are settling. And here is their main fort. One, they've gone into the tar pit, started setting up planks and stuff, foundations to actually build in the swamp water. A little bit southwest. Not southwest, southeast. Southwest would put them right in the water. Then there is another camp along the riverside in a more deep forested northern area. And finally, there's one in a mountain pass, somewhat towards the path to Demdor, right up here.
Okay.
The tar pits, I'm not too familiar with them, and Caroline sort of like looks to everyone else. Is there anything strategic or important about tar pits?
The hobgoblins look at each other and shrug. Locknot clears his throat. Not all of it's tar pits. There's some that's safe to swim in.
Makes sense.
You mentioned there was an encampment closer to Demdor. How close do you believe that is to Oriad territory?
Not particularly. It's one of the side routes that goes through the mountains. It would take several days to reach the city proper.
Okay. Very good.
Besides, I don't particularly think the Oriad and these Dark Elves are affiliated in any way, so...
No. Agreed. Well, it looks like we all have our work cut out for us, then.
I mean, if it's any easier, I could probably try and get a bird's eye view. Pun. But I could probably try and get a higher view from where... Thank you, I'm very proud of that one!
Can you see in the dark? Can you see in the dark, bird?
No.
They can. Better than any of us.
Very well, too.
So wait. If they can see in the dark, then it's smart to not attack them during the dark, yes?
Normally, yes. I have never seen them out in the daylight.
Oh. Huh, I wonder if they're anything like me. Daylight sucks.
Drow are very similar in the sense that they also do not do well in sunlight.
Oh, that's a good angle to work off of then.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, could just do daytime then, if it's disadvantageous for them.
The one problem with that was that they would all likely retreat into one place. We'd be facing the entire herd at once.
Oh, but the thing is with that, though, is choke points are never good for the defending team.
I think they would be able to retreat all the the forward camps would all be able to retreat that quickly back to the main fortifications.
If they've been doing it in the rest of my watches, I don't see any reason they wouldn't be able to do it again.
Okay, I see.
And none of these forward camps are anything less than half a night away from the main fort.
I see. All right. Well, if they retreat from the forward camps completely, then it wouldn't be... It might be worth exploring if catching them off guard when they arrive back at one, if that makes sense.
I kind of agree with Corellian. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, the thing about them all recouping for defense is that they're still going to be in an environment that is disadvantageous for them. Even as a unit together, if we have the advantage of sunlight, then, you know, if they're all pulled together, I don't mean to toot my own horn here, but Momo and I are capable of doing some widespread destruction in rapid succession.
He nods in agreement.
Well, I was sort of more getting at the getting them once they've come back to the forward camps and catching them off guard there. At least if, say, the pass at Demdor, if their forward camp is in the path itself, it would be fairly easy to, cut them off at least.
True.
But,
Very true.
but they would be expected, which is the thing.
Right.
We'd have to be very careful about it. What's more about them is that they do have an incredibly good sense of sight and hearing as well.
What about subterfuge? You have some spells, right? Scam, do you have anything that would be useful in terms of infiltration or...
I can probably turn myself into a drow. Hold on, let me double check my spell list. How far away from their fortifications are we again?
Day's march.
Great, because I would need to prepare things. But, okay, looking at what I got. For infiltration purposes, I can cast Alter Self. Now, that's entirely on me. Well, I couldn't appear as a creature bigger than myself, so I couldn't make myself look like a drow. I'd be a very tiny drow, but I can do... I do have invisibility. I can become invisible. That's another thing I possess. I also have jump, which is good for getting to high places. I also have featherfall if I had to jump from a nice big height or jump into a place. If there was like a nice overlook and I could leap into the camp or somebody leapt into the camp, cast featherfall on them. I have disguise self. Again, I'd be small. I can do that. I also, like you said, I can turn invisible. I can levitate. I can spider climb. I can. Well, blink would not be handy for infiltration. I can also be hasty. I can get haste, but that's more of a combat thing. I can fly. There's another, so stack the deck.
Got a lot of disparate pieces. Unfortunately, they don't seem to fit together all too well, which is the thing. You can't exactly fly and be invisible at the same time, I don't think.
No,
Right.
I can't. They're both concentration. I wish. I mean, actually, no, I could. But not now. I would have to... Did I prepare the boots of flying? Is that hold on. Let me double check what things I'm able to create, because I either took that one or I took a different one, and I would need to level up again before I could swap that out. But let me double check what my infusions are. I could create winged boots, so I could fly and be invisible. I do have those. I would need to get rid of a couple things, but I'll probably keep Jabidi. But I gave Momo. I gave you the periaptive wound closure, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Okay, as Atlas nods enthusiastically.
All right.
Yeah, you did. I still have
okay,
it,
cool.
And he pulls it out.
Yeah, good. Well, I think I'll be turning that one off. If I'm to make the winged boots, if honestly speaking. It's good for when, auto stabilizing you, but hopefully if we're doing infiltration, we won't have to stabilize you.
So, all that aside, how many are usually at these forward camps? Did you manage to get close enough to, make an estimate, or?
Most I've seen is around a dozen at a time.
Too bad.
A dozen? That's super manageable. That's extremely manageable. A dozen at a time? A dozen drow. Are they all drow, or are they some of those ashy death elves Shatterkai too?
I count the creepy death elves among them when I count the dozen, yeah.
Okay. Well, let's see. I can also...
Well, if they're only in each camp, then that would be very manageable between us all. main thing we'd be racing against is the clock, because they would all be expected to get back to the main fortifications.
I have a spell that could be a really good crowd control feature, but obviously these are elves, so but it would probably, fuck, you're right, these are elves, this wouldn't work. I mean, it would work, it has a chance of working, but I know the elves are stronger against charms, so that actually wouldn't work, never mind.
I don't think you'd charm
yeah.
them.
No, I couldn't. They would be pretty powerful against it. However, I could, looking through my abilities real quick to see what like crowd control things I have. I don't really have much the way of crowd control, sadly. I could do some things with what's it called? Enlarge, reduce somehow. Could make myself really tiny. That would help sneaking in. I could be the size of a cat. Cat scam.
That is horrifying to think about.
But
Pocket
not a terrible
scam.
idea.
I've known you for 5 seconds and already I'm terrified.
Good. Yeah,
Pocket scam.
your instincts are correct. The camp that is towards the pass, are they actually set up in the pass itself?
No. They have their actual camp set up overlooking the pass.
Well, there is... How long, based on the activities you've seen, how long do you think we have before they get their potential reinforcements set up?
10 day at the most.
10 days isn't bad. Gives us time to work with.
Yeah.
You know, there's something to be said for hitting one forward camp and then leading them out on a wild goose chase, which lets people, you know, do some more destructive sorts of infiltration if the body of them is looking for you know, the rest, a group of us. Listen, I haven't exactly led a war party before.
Fine time to start, points out Zagnarhug.
Good a time as any. What about you, Quintessa? You seem a little lost in thought. Never mind. Let you mull that over a bit. Malifane, any ideas? Any ideas? Any suggestions?
I need to think this one through.
Alright.
We got time, so that's good. Nothing else.
Got a day's hike ahead of us, right?
Yeah, I mean, a couple days, right? Or just one day.
One day if we decided to attack the forward camps by night.
Right. Gotcha. Which, night, bad idea. I think
For
night's the bad
several
idea.
reasons.
Yeah.
On top
Normally,
of
I
that,
advocate attacking at night, but like this is the circumstance where attacking at night is the non-ideal scenario.
Yeah, but they're not there during the day. We'd have to catch them as soon as they're either leaving or coming in. That's assuming they don't leave.
Well, yeah, no, that's
guard behind. Do they abandon the camps entirely?
They take down what they can and return back to the fort.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that if they are either, I mean, do they leave at first dark and arrive? Do they leave at first light and arrive at first dark? Like, or do they leave while it's dark and arrive while it's dark?
I'm assuming the both of them when it's dark so that they don't get lost on the way back to the fort.
Okay, well,
since Drow are elves. They don't have to sleep as long as the rest of us do. It's certainly possible that once they get that shorter rest, they can simply move on with the encampments.
Well, here's what I say then. If we can only get to them at night, we should move into position during the daytime. For sure. And set up a number of, I don't know, plans, positions in place to be ready to get the drop on them. It's probably the best bet anyway.
Mm-hmm.
If I have to bury myself on the ground to leap out and attack, I'll do it. I'll take one for the team.
No. Curling just sort of looks at Scam. God, what I wouldn't give to see you submit something to Trapfest.
What is Trapfest?
You know,
Oh my
Trapfest.
goodness.
I must have been cloistered for longer than I thought.
We'll talk about it later.
It's a kobold holiday. It's exactly
Oh.
what's on the tin.
Oh my
Trapfest.
god. Oh my
Jeez.
god.
We
I
survived
had-
Trapfest.
Yeah,
When
we
is
had
the
the
next
privilege
Trapfest?
of, Great question.
If
Fuck. Well, good. Duly noted. I'll start getting some things planned up for that. But anyway, yeah, no, I mean, so we arrive during the daytime, set up a number of traps and plans, and we can hit them hard.
all right.
If we have to fight them on their kind of terrain, relatively speaking, in the darkness, then we're going to make sure that we get the jump on them, that we hit them real hard out of the gate.
Right. And then from there, we honestly probably have to follow up as much as possible. At least from what you all have described, the terrain will help us out. If they're preoccupied building around the tar pits, that's another advantage.
Plenty of places to use the land to our benefit.
Exactly.
No, I'm with it.
Sign me up.
Most people can't survive a 100-foot fall.
I mean, I could.
Most.
Well, good for you.
Oh,
I can make all of us survive that fall.
A very good thing to have in our collective pocket.
Mhm.
All right. Well, sounds as good as anything else to me, though.
All right. As you discuss this, Tarth nods. Solid plan, or at least the solid beginning of a plan. We shall act upon it tomorrow. Rest. And the hobgoblins
All right.
immediately start getting ready to go to sleep.
God, a please would be nice.
You're not going to get a please.
Rest sounds good right about now.
Yeah.
All right. Nalzog erases his little chalk drawings, and bed happens. I'm just gonna go ahead and say the hobgoblins will take last watch. So who wants first and second?
I'll have first.
I'll have second.
Okay.
Jabidi will be somewhere in there.
He can stay
Helping.
with me.
Yeah.
Jabidi helping Momo. Okay.
You
First watch, please.
Whenever my character sheet opens, I will give you what you desire.
Oh, you will you?
Absolutely. Roll 20, stop being a cock block. There we go.
Would you like a... You know what? Malefin would probably be up at that point. Would you like some help with that?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, he's watching with her.
Okay. Then roll again,
Could she
Contessa.
go-
Oh my god!
Oh, you know what? An 8 is fine. An 8 is
Damn, Mal, you're too distracting for me
fine.
with your
You're very
sexy
distracted
looks.
right now.
His hair glistening in the moonlight was all I could focus on.
Malifane, have I ever told you how horribly attractive you are?
Is this really the time for this?
Well, I don't know. It just suddenly came into my head out of nowhere. It just seems I cannot look at anything besides you.
This is such this.
Ooh,
You know-
like those glistening blue eyes that you have, and that white hair. That's pretty goddamn hot. Yeah, I know how to flirt.
She sounds so sarcastic.
All right.
I assume I'll take my watch with advantage.
Yeah, because Jabini's helping and pointing to stuff with his knife.
Yay!
Okay, wow.
That's much better.
Suck my D20!
Oh, hell yeah. So Jabini's knife pointing is actually very helpful, Momo. You spot a strange pattern in the sand, like a couple yards away from the campsite area, but like, that doesn't look like a naturally occurring pattern out there.
I'm gonna get the captain.
What? He says as you wake him up.
There's a strange pattern in the sand. I think you should take a look at it.
Show me.
I take him over to it.
All right. He looks over at the sand, starts like shifting some sand away, and it looks like carved into like the rock beneath the sand is some kind of arcane pattern.
Do I recognize it at all? Like, does it look familiar?
Make an Arcana check.
Okay.
Wow.
Looks like a summoning circle. Like it was put in sand, but then burned its way onto the rock below. It doesn't appear to be a complete summoning circle, however. It just like abruptly stops before connecting.
That's a summoning circle. It's not done yet, but that is definitely a summoning circle.
Tarth leans down to examine it. This is an old circle. If someone wanted it done, they would have completed it.
Who do you think made it?
Don't know. But I know they didn't live long enough to finish.
Should I leave it there? Or should we get rid of it entirely?
Looks like the power's long gone from it. Whatever this thing summoned is also long gone from it.
Okay.
He eventually looks over in your direction. You are an Aarakocra.
Yes.
There are no Aarakocra in Irion.
That's what I've heard the whole time that I've been here.
Why are you here?
I came here with my master a couple of months ago, and we were here just to pick up some communal wine and share the good word of Leal. He says that in air quotes. And last thing I know, my mentor was kidnapped, and I didn't see him again for a very long time. Then I eventually found him, and then he was killed.
Unfortunate.
He shrugs his shoulders, doesn't really change his facial expression.
Watch yourself in the north.
Say
They
that
say
again, I
that.
didn't hear that.
Watch yourself in the north.
Tilts his head.
They say Otar still hunts there.
That makes his eyes sort of like widen, but he tries to hide it a little bit.
And you're more useful to me alive.
I thought he was gone.
And in the stories that your friend told about me, did she think I was gone?
You have a point there. I think I just silently hoped that they were true. Because, Otar is the one that ate my parents before I hatched.
Hope is weak.
I'd say that again.
Go to sleep. I shall take the next watch.
Yes, sir. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, I don't like this at all.
Alright. You head
He tries to
back to sleep, Momo.
He tries, but he's too scared to go to sleep.
In that case, you're just, like, awake enough to see the hobgoblins working together to make sure nothing weird happens. Nalzog spots something out in the distance, crouches down, goes over to the side of the rock, on the exit ramp leading back up to the land bridge, and just, like, starts slowly, silently climbing alongside it, getting to a higher position, and then suddenly leaping down, driving a blade into the sand, and coming up with an impaled snake. That he then just rips off the blade, tosses to the side, returns to camp.
He's gonna rub his eyes after seeing that.
Right. And morning comes. The hobgoblins are already up dining on and finishing their trail rations. They haven't moved the snake body.
Oh, that's charming.
There was a snake. I killed it, says Nalzog.
Mama gives a thumbs up. It's like you did good. Congratulations. You did the thing.
Malfane's gonna know not to be snarky around this. He's just gonna say, thank you.
Alright.
Momo's eyes look glazed. Like a freaking glazed donut from Krispy Kreme.
Did you get a lot of sleep last night?
Huh?
Didn't get a lot of sleep last night?
No. No, I didn't.
Sorry about that.
Anyway, who's hungry? And he's gonna cast Create Food and Water again.
Once more, like a lot of food and water just falls onto the ground. Those who can press the digitator just, like, rapidly snapping their fingers to make this taste good.
Just bow 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 bow.
The hobgoblins look on all this with some, like, disdain in their eyes as they finish up their rations and just, like, toss the cans, holding them off to the side.
Well, thanks, Momo. Maybe I should, try hunting with Mosca sometime.
Can I come with you?
Sure. I mean, why not?
Cool.
If we have the time to do any hunting, that is.
I'm sure there'll be some time for hunting. If not, then maybe we could do it during a watch or something.
See. I was doing some thinking, though, and Carlane will sort of just talk as we head out from camp. if the forward camps are all completely abandoned during the day, then instead of, laying traps and laying in wait in those areas, it might just be worth our while to sabotage the things they're working on, the things they're building. Do enough of that, get enough people injured or anything else, and that would definitely help out the odds, as well as maybe not necessarily tip us off to them immediately. It's just a suggestion.
So just simply ambush them then?
Well, after the fact, if that makes sense. I mean, we'd obviously still get to the camps, but seeing as we have quite a bit of time to do whatever the fuck we wanted in the area, if they're building in the tar pits, we could sabotage the foundations that they're building. Maybe we could bump a few off that way. And then, once the time came and they came back around, we could, as they were settling in, or as they were leaving even, we could move in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think so.
Not sure how feasible that would be, obviously, till we see the places, but it's an idea.
We'll scout around. We'll see what we're dealing with, and we'll go from there.
Right. The hobgoblins head off, and I'm assuming everyone's heading off with them?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. You head off back onto the land bridge, spend most of the morning on it before finally crossing it and heading back into northern Irion. As you do, there is this stall set up along one of the main roads that looks to have smoke billowing from a makeshift forge set off to the side.
Just a forge?
Yeah, like someone's pulled along a forge. I mean, it's got to be because you can hear a lot of clanking and see a lot of smoke coming from a wagon nearby.
Is it apparent at all that someone is there, possibly?
It sounds like there's activity inside.
What do you guys think?
Anyone need gear?
Does anyone have any spare weapons?
Just some random ones lying around in my pack.
Darth scoffs. Ours are in prime condition.
Well, do you need to stop by, Momo? Probably won't take long.
If it's no trouble.
You can always walk faster.
Yeah.
I mean, if you need gear, then you need gear, so let's take a look.
Okay.
Alright. You head up to the side of the forge wagon, just kind of knock on one of the wooden windows, which slides away, and inside you can see a pretty tall, slender man with red war paint painted down in lines along one side of his face, and piercing, almost wolf-like eyes staring out at you. He looks over, his eyes dart to Momo, he does a little double take. Well, so this is the miracle they keep talking about. Don't look so miraculous in person.
I didn't know there was a miracle happening.
Birdman of Irion. Everyone said they were all dead, and yet, this is the specimen we get.
He kind of does a little mocking jazz hands.
He does a good solid throat laugh, and then looks over. Well, aside from the hobgoblins, you all don't look like soldiers.
Not exactly.
More
what
so
kind of
hired help.
Yeah. So what kind of weapons do you make or specialize in?
Making, well, that's someone else's problem. It's when they break that I get called in, and no, do they break. I swear the nerve of some people.
Do you have any on hand that are not broken?
Maybe I could put this in a way you understand. I'm a repairman for all the soldiers who go out and decide, you know what sounds like a good idea? I'm just gonna fire arrow after arrow right into a tree trunk and see what good that does for my bow's durability, what that does for the arrows. Better yet, I think I'm just gonna whack it with the sword, as if that's not gonna do any damage to it.
You say that like you've actually seen it happen. Must have been an interesting story.
Oh, they come up with all sorts of excuses about it, but really, it's a shame that the one person who knows more about what he's doing with weapons isn't the one swinging them around.
Well, out of character, I don't know what to do. Does he have weapons or nah?
He is a repairman. He's like, listen, you all seem like, I don't want to say nice people, so let's split the difference and say you all seem like people. But I am in commission for actual armies, which you lot do not qualify as. Much as I'm sure the hired help has some need for repaired weapons, I'm on commission, and it's a long waiting list.
I see. Well,
Who's got you under commission now?
Well, currently it's the Oread. They need mobile forges, and right now I am their best option. Me and other people in my business, that is.
well, I hope that the job isn't too hard and that you succeed quickly.
It's not too bad. Best thing about Oread, worst comes to worst, they just punch the shit out of you instead.
Oh, man.
Knowing from personal experience.
What did you do to piss off an Oread?
You don't want to know.
I actually kinda do. I actually really do.
Malfriend, do you want to tell him?
No, not really.
Well, you lot are boring, he says, and slides the window closed.
That was a whole lot of nothing.
We can always walk faster.
To be fair, it's not like we really had anything that could be fixed.
Yeah.
This is not the type of campaign where I use weapon durability. See you in Breath of the Wild!
But
Oh boy.
We are not playing Fire Emblem Awakening, thank fuck.
Okay. You head off of the main road and towards the actual tar pits area as the sun slowly starts to set, and you make camp.
So, Corellian, you want to go hunting?
How like far away are we? Like, would it be safe or for us to go hunting without necessarily being detected, or?
If you went, like, east, then yeah.
Yeah, we could see if we could rustle something up. Just gotta stay in that direction.
Cool, let's go.
Sure. See if we can find something then. See
Alright.
if Moska can flush anything out.
I totally forgot that Momo had a short bow, and I'm
You're
so
welcome!
happy.
You're welcome. That's out of character, obviously, but...
Yeah, I don't have any weapons that need repairing. We talked a couple sessions ago about how busted the fucking sickle is.
Oops.
Strange music plays in your head, Momo, as you go out hunting with Carillion and Moscow.
Man, I haven't slept. My brain is mush.
Yeah, you
Uh-oh.
do seem like you've been sleeping, really.
It's just a terrain.
Alright, just the terrain then. So, yeah. Hunting.
We'll have fun then. We'll just keep watch in the meanwhile.
Okay.
Alright. Hunting, I'm gonna need a survival check with advantage because it's multiple people.
Yeah! My survival is +4. I'm sure yours
Go
is
for it.
higher.
Roll some dice.
Yeah. Advantage, please. I'm on a roll! But
Yeah, it's relatively easy to find like food out here. Like along with foraging for plants to spice up the meal, there's like some plenty of rabbit meat that you could easily hunt and make into nice dinner that's not plumped on the ground from magic.
Great.
Really?
Sounds wonderful. Gonna do that.
Yeah. Knowing you, Corelli, you could probably make it taste so much better than the things I can make.
Listen, my knowledge of cooking pretty much comes to throw something over the fire and put some salt on it if I have some. So I'm open to suggestions.
Well, I, believe it or not, have a little bit of a baking experience when I worked at my monastery. We would make holy bread, some sweet rolls, all sorts of things. I can probably help out.
Fortunately, we don't have any ovens, but, I mean,
It's,
you know, we can make do.
see what we can do.
Cool.
Right?
Gonna cook some food.
It's time for some food
yes.
cooking. If you're not proficient in cook's tools, right?
No, I am not.
Cool, straight up intelligence check then.
Okay. Not as
Alright.
bad as I would thought.
Not as bad, like you know how to cook rabbit over a fire. It's pretty simple. Just make it not raw.
And that... I think that looks about done.
Looks done, smells done. Carlin takes a chunk, pops it in there, pops it in the jaws. Tastes done. It's done.
Alright, it's done.
And guess share around what we found. You know, that whole deal, so on and so forth.
Sure. I assume Scam is already, sleeping or whatever.
Scam is currently deep asleep.
I'll save some for him in the morning.
Yeah, sounds good. As for watches, maybe you shouldn't take a watch, Momo, if you haven't been sleeping well.
I'll be fine.
Carlin, gives Momo a look.
Don't look at me like that.
I will look at you as... in however which way I please. Thank you. Are you going to be fine?
Yes.
Would it be more beneficial for everyone if you got more sleep than you have been getting?
Probably not.
It wouldn't be.
I...
Carlin tilts their head. Oscar and I will take one of the watches. You should just try and get some sleep, Momo, please.
Fine.
Thank you. So, Carlin and Moscow will take first watch then.
Cool. Hobgoblins will again take third watch, so can I get second watch?
We'll take second watch then.
Cool. Alright. Perception check for first watch.
Sure thing.
Ooh.
Okay. As you take watch and look around, listen for anything that might be, making any trouble, any signs of drow movement. You notice not so much movement, but the lack of it, as during your watch, the sounds of marsh insects, the croaking of frogs and whatnot stop.
Carleen sort of pauses. Is the wind still blowing? Is the air still moving?
The air's still moving. It's just any signs of life from the swamp are dead quiet.
Carleen sort of gets up and looks to Mosca, and we're both gonna take opposite sides of the perimeter of the camp and sort of circle it to see if we can see anything else.
Okay. Natural 20 perception, I'll say, is high enough to see something you don't hear any footfalls or any other signs of movement, but you do see, moving, at the far edge of your distance, this, tall, skinny, humanoid, robed figure just trudging along towards the west. He's got a couple other smaller figures in robes just, kind of darting behind him, quickly following in his footsteps, but they are making no moves toward you.
Yeah, just, keep a quiet eye on them until they're far out of view.
Okay. Without being interrupted, the figures just keep on moving, and when they're out of sight, slowly but surely, the swamp sounds come back.
Wow, that was, uncanny. Felt like somebody walked over my grave. I'll go to, wake up Elephane and, tell him about it. Don't think they'll be coming back, but, just keep an eye out, yeah?
Yeah, I guess I'll be more aware than usual then.
Thanks.
Okay.
That is if the dice gods don't forsake me.
I'll be more careful than usual then. Natural 1.
Rolls a nat 1, yeah. Perception. Thank you.
That's not a nat 1.
That's not a nat 1.
Alright.
That's not even anything between a 1 and a 10.
So,
Big crab.
So you're pretty careful, on guard as best you can be, with the report of the strange figures just moving back and moving through the swamp utterly silently. So you're using all your senses and not just sound, because listening for something might not work for hearing those things. You don't see or hear anything on watch.
Who was on last watch again?
The hobgoblins.
Right. I suspect that they know what they're doing, so he's just going to... Yeah.
Alright. As your watch ends, you hear a splash next to you, and, look. And, you see Locknock, the hobgoblin that was previously dripping wet, coming out of some nearby water, and just kind of shaking the mail dry. Oh, sorry. Gotta go for a dip.
It's fine. You're fine.
Ah, right. Well, have a good night then.
Right, likewise.
Okay. And the hobgoblins are all on watch. They don't wake you up, so you assume everything is good as morning comes.
Quintessa is dead.
Hi, Dad. I'm Malifane.
It is
Well-
nice to meet you, Malifane.
Likewise, Dad.
Yay. I'm sorry, guys.
Okay.
My laptop's been doing bork today.
Yeah.
Valid, don't worry.
And Xander's locked up, so
Yeah,
this is a cursed session.
Cursed
But-
session.
it's okay. I am revitalized and ready to go.
Excellent. So, as you all gather, Nelzog clears his throat. So, we've got some daylight. Should give us time to investigate the different sites where they're making forward camps.
Right.
Which one are we going for first? The pass, the swamp, or the river?
Probably the swamp. I'm curious to see the building they're doing.
Should be mostly foundational work, getting over the water. Don't know why in particular that matters to them, but obviously it does somehow.
Right, sounds good then.
I just need to adjust these maps so that there's, daylight illuminating them real quick. But the Swamp Tar Pit forward camp is a straight shot west, so you follow Nalzog as he carefully guides you across the marshes. The other hobgoblins follow in his steps, pretty much exactly. 0 deviation from the path Nalzog is taking.
Damn.
I mean, the one in proverbial Rome,
Guess?
Alright.
I'm just gonna prepare this maneuver just in case.
Alright.
So,
You are at the lower right corner if Roll20 will cooperate and drag you over.
Thank you.
yeah.
Yay. Right. Cool. This particular forward camp is a camp in name only. It's mostly got pieces of plywood that have been stacked over and across islands that poke up out of the water. It looks like they've only just started this particular camp.
Alright.
Doesn't look like they've left too many things behind other than what they've begun to build.
From a quick glance about, no, not particularly. There's one place that has a bunch of crates and exactly one tent set up, but other than that, it's pretty much abandoned.
Corellian, you mentioned that you saw some figures earlier in the evening. Did you see... Did they go in this direction?
I don't...
Yes.
Yeah, well, generally, yeah, they're heading west.
Shall we take a look around?
I mean, that's why we're here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Malifane is going to be extremely careful about this, so he's going to
Actually, Momo is going to cast a spell called Find Traps. Where is it?
Alright. Within 120 feet, okay. That's gonna cross most of the map, I think, if it'll scroll over that way.
I mean, that's cool, but Malifane's still going to be sneaky, so...
Yeah,
I'm
that's
still
the
gonna roll
majority of the
stealth,
map.
damn it.
That doesn't. That's not the same.
I know it's not the same. Look, just because there are traps around doesn't necessarily mean that any of them aren't going to attempt to ambush us at any point.
Fair enough.
Mm,
I'm so glad I did this. I am going to use my battle maneuver ambush to give myself an extra superiority die on this roll.
Yo! That's
Oh,
good.
oh, sweet Jesus. The kilobytes per second have dropped down to like 200.
this stream is cursed technologically.
So the recording's going to be fine, because stream and recording bitrate settings are different. But oh my god, this is a cursed session.
My god!
Wonderful.
Well,
okay. I'm just going to go ahead and say take back the ambush dice because you're not rolling initiative. Oh wait, sorry, you're rolling stealth. I missed that part of it somehow.
yeah.
Yeah, cool. In that case, roll stealth.
Okay, I guess I'm rolling again.
I am out of it. Sorry, I got distracted by the
You're
bitrate.
so
I got
valid,
distracted.
don't worry.
It is
Okay,
okay.
16 total. 16 total.
16. He's trying.
Okay.
We're trying.
You're trying your best. You do your best to sneak across the boards as they go under your feet.
Can I roll investigation? Just to search around for stuff? And there were no traps, right?
You did not find any traps with that casting of find traps.
Nice.
Oh, phew.
In that case,
Actually,
I'm
wait.
gonna...
I was in the aura. Does that give me anything on ability checks?
Saves only.
Saves.
Saves only, okay. That's fine.
I'm just gonna look around, see if I can't find any, scrolls, plans, anything that they might have left behind, or any reason why they abandoned it.
Yeah.
Cool.
I just have my bow notched, just in case.
Yeah.
I only have a 2 in investigation. Can someone help me?
I can do it.
Excellent.
Please redeem me, dice. Please redeem that god-awful stealth roll.
What's your investigation roll? What's your investigation?
I'm glad you asked. I have expertise, so my investigation is 11.
Please roll with advantage.
Thank you. I love you.
I love you too.
Please don't roll 2 nat ones. I'll take it.
Okay. All right. So, again, there is not a whole lot here. Mostly just the foundation and the camp in the upper left. I'll just move the window up to there because Roll20 is being super slow today. Whee! As you do a quick look around, into some of the crates, which you know are not trapped, because of Momo's fine traps having that in the area. You don't detect all that much, a couple of drow rations, hammers and nails and other construction equipment, small scale. The tent, however, you know is there, but for whatever reason, you don't see a door in there. Or a tent flap or any method of actually entering the tent.
Interesting.
Uh...
There is not a single way to get in this thing.
Well, you can't lift up the side and go under? Or it's stake down, or...
Yeah,
Stake
Momo's
down.
gonna, Can't we just pull the stakes out of the ground? Or would that require a strength check?
That would be strength check.
Okay, I will do that. Momo's not a strengthy boy, but...
That seems about
Okay.
right.
That's a strength save and not a check, but I think the result would be the same because you're a cleric, so...
No! Dang it!
So I had to refresh. You try to pull out the stakes, but since Find Traps did not see any traps inside, you just, like, fall down face first into the side of the tent, bounce right off, and then back onto your back.
Momo, that's not how you get. That's not how you break down a tent.
Easy there. You okay?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm fine.
I don't know if this is going to be feasible.
Why don't we just burn a hole in the top?
I don't think that will get their attention.
I think it would be really obvious that somebody came by.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Didn't think about that. I mean, does anyone have mending? We could just cut it open.
Nope.
I have mending.
Let's cut the top.
Well, yeah, don't cut it too much. I gotta repair that shit, but yeah, cut it open.
Cut it open to where us smaller folk can crawl in and see what's in there.
Yes.
Just gonna step back.
Alright.
Momo's gonna try and use the old rusty sickle that he was dumb enough to not even realize he still had on his person, and he's gonna cut the tarp.
Can we make a mental note out of character? Can we make a mental note of where the forger is so we can go back maybe later? I don't know.
Assuming he's not moved, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyways.
Alright. You start cutting into the side of the tent. For the purposes of being fair, since you cast Find Traps. If something magical happens to happen due to cutting something magical, but was not designed as a trap, would Find Traps pick that up?
I doubt it.
Wait.
It's not intended to be a trap.
Anything that would sudden or unexpected effect that would be considered harmful or undesirable, which was specifically intended as such by its creator.
Yeah, specifically intended as such, being the operative set of words.
Okay. In that case, you cut a hole in the tent, and as you do, this, like, creeping, shadowy gas bursts through with a hissing right into your face. Momo, I'm gonna need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no!
Damn it. You're in the aura, so.
This is 22.
Plus 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
16.
plus 4.
We haven't actually moved you over to where the tent is, so I'll assume Corellian is within the aura. Alright, so 16 total. That is exactly the DC. Wow.
Yes!
Alright. So you cough horribly and, like, wave away the shadowy gas, but you feel fine.
Is there still gas pouring out of it?
There is, in fact, still gas pouring out of it.
Scab, mend it.
It's gonna take me a minute to mend it.
So I think
You can't mend it while gas is pouring out.
I think one of the first things you got for the great work, all those words in air quotes, was like the hammer that immediately casts mending.
Oh yes, that is correct. Thank you. Right. Yeah. Smack.
You smack it with the Anunnaki hammer, and just the wound zips itself closed, and the gas stops.
Works. It just works.
That is great work.
What was that stuff? Any ideas?
Gas.
Can I roll to, if I know what it is?
Sure.
What would I roll? Arcana?
That is an Arcana check, yes.
Yeah! I'm getting better every day.
Hey.
Okay. That is theoretically shadow stuff. Like, this tent appears to have been created out of the crafting material of the Shadowfell. It would take some powerful magic in order to craft shadow stuff into, like, a gaseous form when broken, though.
He relays this to everyone, and he's very concerned. Like, that takes a lot of power to be able to do that.
How in the realms did that happen? Do you do that?
No idea.
We have a lot of magic, I guess.
Yeah. Did you say Shadowfell was what that sort of what it was made out of, or
It was
from the Shadowfell?
Maybe.
That's what I think, at least.
This must be one of the, what did you call them? Shadarkai makes her forward camp.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
So, I don't really know too many things about the Shadarkai, but, like, could one of them just, I don't know, feasibly just walk through whatever material the tent is made out of? Is that something that they can do? Or...
I know they can teleport to an extent. As long as it's dark.
I guess it's dark inside of a tent that has no opening, so it still seems a bit inconvenient.
If they made this tent, they could. If they made the tent, they could theoretically make it so it would have an opening.
Yeah, true. So the foundations around the camp, does it look like something in particular is being built, or does it look like they're just, bridging the gaps between land, or like planning a building or something? If that makes sense.
Currently, it looks like they're only on the bridges state.
Well,
let's keep moving.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's see what else we can find.
Alright. Since the riverside camp is the one closest, you skirt back the way you came and go along the water, along the river that feeds into the pits. Once this damn map loads. Thank you, Roll20.
Oh, what the fuck?
I'm refreshing.
Hey, Alex.
Yes?
This map looks familiar, Alex. I think I recall this from a Camp Streamix one-shot last year, Alex.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I believe
my God, it's Murder
bear
God!
and Murder God over here, Alex.
Oh, weird. Anyway.
I don't think I was involved with that one, so I can't really say I remember.
Weren't. I think it was just me from this group, I think.
No, I was here.
No, Scott was there.
Oh, yeah.
Scott and Atlas.
Yep, he was there.
Wait, who did you two play?
I played the water Ganassi.
Warforged Samurai.
Oh!
Was that the one with the frog?
Yes.
Yes.
That's correct. That is correct, yes.
Yeah.
Man, I just tunnel vision only remembered Uprising Centaur and Phil Frog.
I remember that! I remember that! That was cool!
Well,
Cool.
Phil Frog, Toxic Touch, who therefore would poison Uprising by running.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Anyway.
Hell yeah.
Anyways.
Let's go.
Anyway, this particular camp looks to actually be set up as a camp. They have felled a few trees to set up, like, miniature fortifications and whatnot. They look to have been in the middle of that process by the time they went away from this camp.
Slowly, carefully moves cursor to stealth button. Praise in Elvish.
Okay.
Good.
Hey, you got this,
Praises the gods
Don't
in
fuck this up.
Elvish.
He totally
fuck
got
this up.
this.
You got this. Don't fuck it up.
Right. So this is a stream, right?
That is a stream, yes.
Okay. Don't know how to cross this without making a splash. How wide is the stream? Like from let me rephrase that. If I were to attempt to jump this with my -1 strength modifier, how well could I do that?
Reasonably well.
Well, I mean, you have like a 9 in strength or something?
A
Yeah,
9,
you can still
yes.
jump 9 feet if you.
Yeah, you can jump 9 feet with a running start. Yeah.
Okay.
It's easy peasy.
Boy. That's still running, though.
Just a 10-foot head start, dude.
Okay. Malphane's going to take a head start.
Do you know how quiet a fucking running leap is? Like, if you ever
No.
watch the Olympics, they're super quiet.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it. He's going to take a head start and run over the river bend. Please tell me I don't need to roll for that.
No, it's just that you have 10 feet of movement beforehand. You're fine.
You're absolutely fine. You just take a running leap over the river, land in the dirt. Ow, my liver! Fuck!
It hurts so bad!
Yeah, unless you're landing on, like, pure sheet metal, I don't see why a running leap would cause that much noise.
Listen, I'm not smart, okay?
You're fine. Come on.
Anyways. So moving further downward, is there anything of note, whether it be footprints or like shadows in the... Yeah.
There are a couple of boot prints, look to be of elven make, going back and forth along the river, up a path that leads, like, up the hill towards the actual campsite. Looks like this place is pretty frequently traveled.
Which direction does it look like they're going?
Like, the footprints kind of go everywhere, back and forth, up and down. Like, only a few ever go past the river, like, past the log bridge right in front of you.
Okay. And last question. Do the footprints here look fresh?
Make a survival check to determine the seal of freshness.
Okay.
Seal of approval.
Seal of freshness. Watch me roll a nat one on this. Okay, I'll take that.
Okay. I mean, there were a lot of footprints, so there's a lot of activity to track. Looks pretty recent, like rain hasn't eroded any of them away.
Malphane is going to move back up, look to the rest of the party, and just say in a hushed tone, "Be very careful." Why? Footprints lead to the camp.
That's not really surprising, but okay.
Zagnrog leans over. Yeah, be very careful. I hear there might be dark elves in the area. That's a real surprise.
You know what? Vampires.
Let's go.
I quit all vampires.
Scott, do you want us all to stealth, or should we just go normally?
Oh, I wouldn't stealth check me.
I wouldn't stealth check me.
Maybe one or two people come up.
A clink.
I jiggle and clink all the time.
I don't.
I'm gonna hang back. I did make the winged boots over our last rest when we had it. So
I guess I'll go with you, but like, don't know how I'll do it.
Don't you clink?
No, I don't.
What we could do is
I flutter.
What we could do is we could have our lightest party members go forward towards the camp, and then we could have those who have some sort of flight travel across the air.
Good idea. Fuck yeah.
Heck yeah. Nalzog just immediately starts climbing up the hillside. It's fine.
Momo, perhaps you and Skem could see what you can find from the skies.
Yep, I can take to the air. He made a sound with his mouth. No, he fully made that sound with his mouth. Just went
Amazing.
flies upward. Although I think Scam's boots are actually just kind of like rocket boots. They're a bit quieter. They're not just going at all times. So they're just kind of like these like jets of flame and air that just kind of propel him upwards.
Do you do anything in half measures?
No.
Gods.
All or nothing.
At least you're honest.
Woo! Scammy just like starts soaring. Yeah. As you talk and you hear Nelzog call down, "No one's here!"
Oh.
What do you mean?
What? I call
It
up
means
from the
no
sky.
one's there.
No, that. Something doesn't seem right.
Well, we should. I'm gonna go up there.
I start flying around the skies, like surveying from above.
I missed the Drow. He's not supposed to be there.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Listen, this is a cursed session. This is a cursed session.
Yeah.
No, it's not your fault. It's just I didn't want to mention it because I thought he wouldn't be there.
Yeah, Mama's gonna noom over here and investigate the camp.
Cool.
I will too.
That's a camp.
Karma caught up with me.
Come on, investigation. Come on,
All right.
investigation.
Man, people sure did sleep here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck you, Mal.
All right. Quintessa and Malifane, this looks like more of an actual forward camp than the last one you came to. These tents are not, in fact, like super closed off magical hell things. They have actual tent flaps that you peer inside. These look fairly well decorated, like not super lavish or anything, but like there are a couple of luxuries like mounted on pedestals that you wouldn't normally expect for people to be roughing it in the woods.
Would we recognize what's on the pedestal?
History check.
Ooh,
All right,
you got it.
I got it.
I don't got it.
You don't got it.
I get it.
I don't get it.
They look to be like a set of ebony plates, like just decorative dinnerware set up. Drow in origin. It's like mostly to look fancy rather than to actually be something you eat on.
Yep, thought so.
I recognize these. I think my father had a set of one of these back home. How the hell are we... I don't know how the hell he had one of those. Just lifts his head from the tent as he says that.
If they were native to sort of the Drow, then it wouldn't be a surprise. I mean, although it would be weird the fact that he chose to do a runner and he took fucking plates with him. Your father certainly had his priorities.
Quite.
I'm leaving, and I'm taking the plates with me.
Oh no, not China.
So, we keep going, or...?
I guess. I'm honestly surprised that no one's here.
You all start to regroup after investigating. Skylook from Momo and Scam, by the way, sees tree line, a couple other footprints, like leading towards the west, and a big old fort, several fortified palisades and watchtowers on it, off in the distance, like on the horizon to the west. And as you all regroup, the sun slowly starts to set.
Oh.
Oh no. We should probably get going.
Yeah, we need to.
Yeah!
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, we're out, says Zagnarok as you
Bye.
all back out. And as darkness slowly starts to set in on the Zufon tar pits, that's where we're gonna end our session.
Oh.
Hooray!
Okay.
Yeah, like, you guys moved out fast. You're not gonna get ambushed from the Drow. They're coming from the exact opposite direction.
It was very anticlimactic.
Okay, Scott! Okay, Scott! You find yourself attacked by 70 swamp Tarrasques! They're like
Swamp
Tarrasques, but from the swamp!
What separates swamp Tarrasques from regular Tarrasques? Wait, no,
From
don't.
the swamp,
make-
They're from the swamp, I just said!
Yeah, okay.
Alright. So thank you all for joining us for Fallen Empires. On Wednesday is going to be another Darby stream, and then Thursday is Cursed Throne. Please watch Cursed Throne. Friday, we have Call of Cthulhu, and Sunday is Discord Murder Party. We'll see you all for more Can't Streamix. See you in the post-show, those of you who are on Twitch. Bye-bye!
Bye, guys.